Good day everyone, it is Caitlin and today we are cutting and sewing our corded petticoat. Welcome to another month of the corded petticoat. So it is off the loom. We finally have a month where we're off the loom. I'm terrified for this part. Absolutely, completely terrified. More so than I think I should be. So I washed it. Came out really nice. A little bit concerned because I've been dyeing with indigo and the inside of my dryer kind of looks blue, but I washed it out right before I put this in there and I did another load of laundry with whites in it. I didn't really care if they got stained and it came out clean, so I felt okay, so we're good. There's no indigo in this, unlike my hands, which are, you know, blue as they have been for the last couple weeks. But we're going to cut into this tonight and I am again completely terrified. I spent too long working on this to screw this up now. Before we get into that, I never did actually weave these ends in. These I probably should have woven in. I'll figure that out. This I couldn't have really woven in, but I think I might be able to get it to work. We're going to find out in a little bit. I'm going to do it piece by piece. As I get to them and I'm sewing to them, I'll weave them in. Which is not how I should have done it, but it's how I'm going to do it because I didn't know any better. I will say that once I washed it, the holes kind of shrunk up a little bit, so it's a lot more opaque, which is really nice. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to cut it. Oh, okay. I can do this. It's just, I can do this. I can do it. Had a conversation with some friends earlier about this. I'm like, I'm too scared. And you're like, you're going to be fine. I'm like, but I'm scared. What if I mess it up? Okay, so I want the hem to be about an inch below this first line, I think. Actually, hang on, let me just double check that. Less than that. Half an inch hem, so half an inch. So I need really an inch and a half. So I'm going to cut from this bottom ring an inch and a half. I have not been this terrified to cut into fabric since the first time I cut into silk. I was in high school then. And y'all see me on this channel, I don't get afraid to cut fabric. I just go, whoop, and if I mess up, oh well. This I'm concerned about messing up. Should be about 11.5 inches. Yep, more or less. Okay. So an inch and a half from the bottom of this is where I'm going to cut the next one. The cat's fighting, as they typically do. Okay, I've done some nerve-wracking things in my life, but this ranks up there. Okay. Now that we're here, though, I can cut my waistband. Alrighty. Sewing. We have sewing to do. Cutting is the most nerve-wracking part. I think I'm fine from now on. So I did weave in all those ends. Would have been much easier to do that from the get-go when I was actually weaving it, but I didn't process that I needed to do that, so I had to do it in by hand with the needle, and that was not fun, but I did it. So it's okay now. And this is all selvage, so what I think I can get away with is just whipping the ends together. There doesn't really need to be a seam allowance. And it's not going to ravel on me because it's a selvage. It ended up a little bit narrower than I thought. It's like the loom was a 32-inch loom. And I knew that when you wove it, it was going to end up slightly narrower, but I figured an inch on either side, it should be 30 inches wide. And it's 29 inches wide. So I just got to remember that for next time that I weave a little tight, which doesn't surprise me because I knit tight and I crochet tight. So you would think that would just be common sense at this point. But that'll just remind me that it's going to be a little bit narrower than even I was expecting. So it's not too bad. With 3 panels, that's only 3 inches lost from what I thought. So I thought I was going to get a 90-inch petticoat, and I think I have about an 87-inch petticoat. Which 90 was on the very, very narrow side already, so it kind of made me nervous. But it still is only 3 inches. So it should be okay. Ran out of thread. I'm going to stop there for just a moment. I'm going to show you hemming. Might as well. That way I can go sit on the couch and finish all my stitching. The hem is just, it's basically a whip stitch again. And by the way, the event I need to debut this at is in like 3 weeks. So there's Kitty Cat. We're doing really well on time. I actually cut out the dress I'm going to be wearing, I think last week. I'm dyeing that one with an indigo vat. So this is going to be our next long-term project, just in case you wanted to know. It was supposed to be an embroidered 1850s dress, an elytra dress. That's going to go to the wayside because I got other more important things to do that I actually kind of need like now. Whereas the elytra dress, I really don't need to know. I don't really need that right now. It's a very loose weave still, but I'm hoping that once I starch it, that the starch is going to make those fibers swell up just a little bit and they'll not look quite as semi-sheer. Which, okay, to be fair, it was a lot more sheer. And then washing it kind of tightened those fibers up, which is a good thing. That's what I wanted it to do. Alright, so we have a sewn together petticoat. I have put in the gathering threads. And I think we're ready. I have the center march. Oh, I didn't even did that. Awesome. I didn't realize I did that. Alright, let's figure out where I want my waist. There is a right and wrong side to this, so I have to remember that. This is the right side of this. Okay. So we're going to mark the centers. Button it, tie it off. And then we're going to attach this with a back stitch. Well, I was going to use that seam line to help me gauge exactly where I need to be doing the seam, but I can't hardly see it. It'll be okay. Let's see well enough. Oops. Got the thread of my scissors. Yeah, we are just doing a very, hopefully a small running stitch. Sorry, back stitch. Yeah, it's going to be pretty secure. We'll be good. Okay, we can continue with that. It's going to take me a while. But I'll come back for the next step. So I turned the waistband over after stitching that down, or back stitching that down. And we're using just, a little whip stitch here to close it. On this side. And I'm going to go sit on the couch and do the buttonhole off camera because I hate doing them. I don't need the added stress of filming that. But this is the last step basically. So we have a petticoat. A completed petticoat. Next month, we're going to starch and iron the petticoat because it does need to be starched. And the month after that, we'll be wearing it and showing it off. There we go. Our little petticoats. Thank you so much for joining me this month as we sewed the corded petticoat. The cutting was nerve-wracking. We got through it. And it's all stitched up. It's all done except for the buttonhole, which I'll do right now. And next month we'll continue with the last little bit of the project and then it'll be ready for wearing. Have a fantastic week and I'll see you back here on Monday.